Thank you for the $5. Being Supreme. I appreciate you. You are 100% right, Guru. Ngannou is such a clown that Jones versus Ngannou fight was the biggest fight since Conor Habib, and he threw it all away. Yeah, and he did get offered a lot of money, according to his coach. Like, they did offer him a lot of money, but he just had it in his mind that he wanted to go elsewhere. So that's the history books. Ngannou wanted to earn more money elsewhere against lesser competition. That's how it is. Thank you for the $5, Alex Kaiser. Francis is a clown, but I don't blame him for leaving. If he fights Tommy Fury, he will get 60, 70 million. No, he won't, dude. I don't know if you understand that. No, he won't at all. Not 60, 70 mil. You won't get more than AJ and Fury. Like, Jesus. For Tommy Fury. Come on, man. Francis will probably get paid like 10 mil for a boxing fight originally. You know what I mean? Because he has no loyalty to a promoter, which is why these boxers get paid so much, which is ironic that Ngannou just left his promoter of the UFC. Because the reason why AJ and Fury and that get paid so much is because there's kind of like a promise that they'll be around 5 fights from now under the same promotion. The reason why Eddie Hearn forks out the cash for Anthony Joshua is because he's going to be there for the next 5 years. Like, Canelo's on like a 10-fight deal with DAZN. You know what I mean? Like, it, but people just ignore this. Thank you for the £5. With Francis's career dead and buried, will Ariel ever have him on again? I don't think so. Pretending the guy doesn't exist as he goes broke is a bad look, surely. I'm going to make a video on that during the Sarukian versus Moicano week, going after Ariel for lying to Ngannou and ruining his career. Thank you for the £5, dude. Yeah, I doubt he'll ever have him on again. Maybe he will after like a year on like a slow week and just say, what happened, man? After he encouraged all of his actions. Get a fart mic? I won't get a fart mic, dude. That seems a bit ungentlemanly, you know? Thank you very much for the £2, Dexter. Which fighter is the most unintelligent in your opinion? Which fighter is the most unintelligent in your opinion? Probably. I don't know, dude. There's a lot up for... There's a lot that are in... Probably Ngannou. Let's be real. It's probably Ngannou. I know people say, but you learn different languages, but you just adapt that way. Probably Ricky Tercios, Elkins, something like that. Matt Vandera, true. Vandera's in the mix. Thank you very much for the £2, Jack Ho. Have a feeling Ngannou was never going to return. What about you? No, he's apparently going to return in March. And if he doesn't, the UFC will literally just move on. Like, they do not give a fuck about Ngannou. No one's going to watch him anywhere else. Is RDA fighting at 170 now because he wants Conor? No. Maybe. Maybe he'll call out Conor if he wins, but I doubt it. I don't know if Conor will take that fight. I will watch Ngannou if he fights. Yeah, you'll watch it, but you won't pay for it. Yeah, let me just buy the PFL pay-per-view. I'm a retard. I paid to watch PFL. No, you're not. Thank you for the 65 Swedish krona. Why does Jesse on Fire and others say that Ngannou will make 35 to 40 million to box? Do they think it will sell 3 million buyers to pay for that? Brain dead. They're retarded. They are retarded. A lot of the reason why these boxers make so much money is because they get like, they've been making that promoter money for like 10 years. Eddie Hearn had Joshua on his payroll, but like while he was in the Olympics, he was scouting him for his company. You know what I mean? Like, straight away, as soon as he became a pro, he was making money for Eddie Hearn. He wasn't always making the millions, you know? It's just, so Eddie Hearn gets a share of the Nike deal and stuff like that. Whereas Ngannou's coming into boxing with no allegiance to anyone, no history with any of the promoters. At best, they'll give him $10 million, I reckon. Chimaev TKO round 1, way too strong. I think he TKOs Covington in round 1. Ground and pound or submission, dash choke, something like that. I don't know. I reckon now, Ngannou has no other way of income. So I think he kind of has to take a good offer if they give it to him. And I think they will give him a good offer, as long as it comes with like a multi-fight deal. But I swear to God, if I hear anything about Ngannou not signing because he doesn't want to sign a 5-fight deal, fuck off, mate. You know what I mean? I'll be so sick of this fucking bullshit. I want to give the UFC more power over fighters if that fight don't get made, dude. I don't care. What's good for fighters is bad for fight fans. Simple as that. Arnold Allen versus Max Holloway would save it. Francis to PFL. Is that because of his Instagram picture with his mum having the PFL thing on? He'll just subside to like nothingness. And then whoever, if Jones takes the belt, Jones will be considered the best. You know? Yeah, his mum has a PFL shirt on. That's interesting. He'll just die out of relevancy. Simple as that. He'll lose relevancy. And that'll be it. So go off, do that, dude. You defended the belt once. Stipe defended it 3 times. You're 1-1 against him. And Garn should have beaten you. These are all the narratives the UFC will chuck out if he leaves. So leave. Fuck off. We don't want fucking crybabies at the top of the sport. The PFL have heavyweights. Oh my God. That's actually just like, there's no way Ngannou can go to PFL and be respected. Ante Delija is their top guy. They do have heavyweights, yeah, but it's literally, and I'm not even over exaggerating here, it's Ante Delija and fat fucks. That's all it is. Like, there's no way they could, yeah, there's just no other good heavyweights. So if he wants to go, they'll let him go. They'll literally let him go. They will. Thank you for the £2. I appreciate your £2, good sir. I like how people are trying to justify Francis fighting Ante Delija or Bader just because they hate the UFC. Yeah, I know, it's fucking pathetic. What I think is going to happen is he's going to start boxing. Is what I think is going to realistically happen. I don't know, the MMA organizations could pay him a crazy amount of money. But I think he could easily go like 5-0, build up some hype against absolute cans in the boxing world, and then get like a big name boxing fight or something. Thank you for the $5, J Lig. Wilder versus Ngannou boxing prediction. How long before Ngannou gasses? Wilder would finish him in the first round with like the first punch, I reckon. Thank you for the $5. It's not about Ngannou gassing, dude. Like, it's just different boxing. Wilder has a reach advantage. He'd 1-2 down the pipe, catch him with his chin up in the air, I think. What do you think, chat? First minute, Wilder KOs Ngannou in a boxing match. He doesn't have to sort of ride out and test things out a little bit. Like, people say Wilder's a bad boxer, but he's actually good compared to fucking people that don't know how to box. You know what I mean? Like, he's just not good compared to Fury, which is a very high standard to be held against. So I think first round, at least, Wilder would catch him. But I really think Ngannou has a chance against Dillian Whyte. That's all I'm going to say. So maybe he should take that one first. Isn't Francis waiting out his contract to go and box? Who's going to fucking box Ngannou, dude? They're going to want to do Fury versus Usyk. This is what I was telling everyone so long ago about the Ngannou situation. He's not a big name. He's not going to sell millions of pay-per-views anywhere. He needs to be in the UFC and actually legitimize himself as a champion. His last fight was shit. You know what I mean? He needs to build up. He needs to get a big KO over John Jones and then start negotiating this shit. Francis to PLF. No, Francis to PFL. There was a picture on his Instagram of his mum or auntie, some female in his family that was overweight, wearing a PFL t-shirt. Nonetheless, which is absolutely bonkers, I tell you. So it's craziness, man. Absolute fucking craziness, lad. Fucking mental, I tell you. Fucking crazy. You bastard, you. You could only dream of the life Jesse on Fire has. Well, I can't. I don't think I could dream 20 years ahead. The 40-year-old. Francis is trying to play politics, but he has a low IQ. Yeah, but he dug sand for his fucking qualifications. Sir, what are your qualifications to work here? I dug sand for 10 years. Thank you for the free Australian dollars, the boy JDT. Fighters with the worst management, Merry Christmas. Thank you, dude. Worst management, Tony Ferguson is the fighter with the worst management in history. Other than that, Ngannou, from the way they handled the whole UFC Ngannou thing. How did that work out for him? They're back at the UFC. You know? So, yeah. Cheeto beats Ngannou, okay. Weasel bias to Dagestani fighters, yeah. Thank you for the $2 Canadian. Does Francis box first or MMA bout? MMA bout. His entire thing about boxing was completely useless, and he made a bad relationship with the UFC over fucking nothing, so that's good for him.